I have a question for everybody out there. I know there's going to be some people that are going to see this when it's not live, but the question is, where do you get your baseball chalk from? Good morning, SoCal Travel Ball families. Happy Saturday. It is a little bit cloudy with a chance of doubles and triples. All right, so check this out. I'm making this video today about the chalk. You know, you can't have baseball without the chalk. The chalk is like this magnetic field that is created around the diamond. It is created, intended to determine what is fair play and what is foul play. The chalk has all sorts of rules, and you know it matters in the game of baseball when you're playing an official game. It determines whether the ball lands fair or foul. If you don't have chalk, you know it's going to be a judgment call by the umpire, and they're going to say foul ball when it was fair. But you know you can't argue if there was no chalk. So the chalk is important to the game of baseball, and I'm making this video just to show and to talk about a couple of the important things. You know, I think the chalk is made of some, you know, natural materials from Earth. I don't know at the top of my head, like the chemical compound behind it, but I do have some people that work in the field in chemistry, and I actually have another friend who works in agriculture, and he pretty much can break down the compound for me, what it's made from. I know it's some sort of derivative from calcium. It comes from calcium. And the name of the chalk that I'm about to go pick up is called gypsum. Gypsum, for those of you who are into fixing fields, you know what I'm talking about. And those of you who are into playing baseball, you have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been in the game for many years, and just recently I found out that that's what it was called, you know, gypsum. I'm sure there's other types of derivatives, and it might go by other names, but the one I was pointed out to go get is called gypsum. And I did look it up, and like I said, I do have the chemical compounds. I might try and see if I could put it up here on the top so you can see the compound and what it's actually called. It was called something like calcium ditrate. I want to say calcium ditrate, but I could be wrong. I'll double check, and I'll put it in the description. But yeah, what do you guys know about that chalk? You think it's just like the chalk like they used to get from school? But even that chalk, I believe, comes from the same sort of natural resource, right? It can only come from one material. It's a material, right? It's a material that has to come from Earth. Somewhere on Earth, there's some sort of material that creates that chalk. Where does it come from? So this is an interesting video. I think it has to be made. I haven't seen one made. I'm sure there's going to be better ones made than the one I make. But this is just something I wanted to explore. And where I'm going right now, I'm actually going to a big factory. They're called, I believe it's called Whittier Fertilizer. They distribute all sorts of natural raw materials, rocks, powder, soil. Not exactly sure because I've never been there, but I took a little glimpse at a GPS map, and one of the things that they sell is gypsum. So I'm about to go buy a couple bags. We've been playing a lot of baseball games, and you know the last game we had, we didn't even have chalk. So I want to make sure I have some chalk, and that way when we play, we could, you know, play with some nice lines out on the field. All right, I'll continue to add a little bit more as I get to the location. And if you guys have any questions, you know, ask down below, or any comments, anything you want to like bless us with, some information that I may not know about. Let me know. Maybe gypsum is just an alternative, and the real one is like something else. I don't know, but the one I was directed to was to get gypsum. You know, this is the first time I ever go and buy some chalk. I actually looked it up online, and at Home Depot, they didn't even have any in stock. They had some at Ace Hardware, but at Ace Hardware, there was nowhere I could go pick it up. It was only like via shipment, and the shipment fees, because it's a 50-pound bag, is about $45 just to the ship. Plus, on top of that, you got to buy the bag. I mean, you were spending like $60 just for one bag. So I was looking for a place where I could just go pick it up and I could bypass the shipment fee. And I'm about to go pick that up, and I'm going to save that money. I want to say that Home Depot did have it, but the bags were like ridiculous. It was like $65 to $70. But, I'm going to try to save some bucks by picking up a few bags in person. All right, talk to you later. Here we are. I'm just showing a couple of shots of me driving to the place. Look in the background. I don't know if you can see, but in the background you can see the mountains, and there's a nice powder of snow covering all the mountains. That explains why it's been so cold these past couple days, and that's why I'm wearing a beanie. I just got this beanie too, by the way, by my school. They passed them out to all the teachers. It was actually the principal hit the nail on the head with that one. But look, you can see the mountains covered in powder. I don't think that's the chalk that I'll be purchasing, but wouldn't that be funny if the chalks were actually made of snow? Like the chalk that's used in baseball, it was just used of like hardened snow that melts like over a 2 or 3 hour period. I'm sharing this with all my baseball followers because I know that sometimes you're gonna find yourself in need of some chalk, some baseball chalk. You're gonna look around, you're not gonna find it. You're gonna want to know where to find it, and maybe I could bring some business to this location. I don't know the people there. I'm just pointing out. I make connections. I connect the dots in this SoCal Travel Ball page. I help people find other people, and I connect teams with players. I connect players with teams. I connect teams with teams. Clinics with customers, and that's what it's all about. Connecting the dots. But I am gonna go get a couple of bags, and let's take a look at what this facility looks like. I know that on Saturdays they only open from 8 to 12:30, so it's Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, and I gotta go pick up a few bags. I have room in the back of my SUV. 50-pound bags. We're good to go. I'm taking 4. Another story about chalk is that I'm not exactly sure. Maybe going back about 20 years, they invented the chalk spray. So some fields, they have these machines that it goes in a straight line, and they chalk the field with spray paint. So obviously it lasts a little bit longer. I think I'm not exactly sure how much. Somebody who knows. Do you know? Because I'm sure if you spray paint the dirt and then people start running over it, I mean, it's going to come undone just like the chalk is, right? Because you're spray painting dirt. I don't know. Which one lasts longer? What do you like better? I like the chalk. You put some chalk down, the powdered chalk, and it lasts you a whole game, maybe 2. I know in the turf nowadays, if you spray paint the turf, obviously that's going to stay there permanently. You don't have to be wearing that on an ongoing basis. And a lot of fields that are going with turf, that's one of the benefits of having the turf. You can spray paint the lines and you don't have to worry about lines. One of the parks that I practice at, Apollo Park, they have turf and the lines are painted, and you don't ever have to worry about that. That's one alternative. Another alternative is they have this one machine now. I don't know how much I trust this machine, but they have this one AI machine. It's a robot. It's laser directed. You put the point on one end of the field, and then you make sure that the machine has the spray can, or I'm pretty sure it's spray, not chalk. There might be one for chalk too. I'm not sure. The one I saw, it was a spray can, and you just set it on auto, and it'll start painting the lines for you. I don't know how much I like that one, because what if there's a rock or something and the wheel goes over a rock and it causes it to shift out of direction? Now your line's going to be crooked. And sometimes it takes human error to fix it. But what about robot error? If the robot makes an error, who's going to fix it if you're relying on that being painted on its own? I imagine that the way that works is if there's an error, the human has to come in and correct the program. So what's the point, right? You're still going to be the one correcting it. Yeah, I thought that was interesting, because there's a there's not just one style. There's not just the powder. There's also the spray can. And let me know where you shop for your powder. How about that? Where do you shop for your powder? Is there a place? Let me know down in the comments below. Where do you get your baseball chalk from? I called it powder, but we're going to say baseball chalk. Okay? So where do you get yours at? Let me know. Let's see. What do we got here? Garden soils. We got garden soils. We got to look for the gypsum. That's where I'm at the location now. Just got to find the right bag. I'm recording, but I'm keeping it low key because I don't want them to tell me something. Let's see. And it's Whittier Fertilizer. Let's see. Let's take a look at all the varieties that they have. It's cool. That topsoil DG. See. Honey sauce here. All purpose. Yeah, we have all the things that they sell. Turf Supreme. No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's see. Morning, good morning. There we go. Oh, this is mound clay. Hey. Close, close, close. Cool.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm basically I'm doing a turf replacement. We're going to follow the sod, and I'm going to have some walking areas. But I do want it to be stable because the whole thing's on a slope. All the properties are on a slope, so I don't want it to.
Do you guys have the gypsum for baseball fields?
You mean like, what do you mean?
The white chalk that they put on the lines, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah? Can I get 4, how much are they?
720?
Can I get 4 bags?
Victor, can you get that white chalk? 4 bags?
4 bags, please. All right, so I'm at the location. I actually spoke to the manager and I asked him if he wanted to, do a promo for his company so they could, attract some more customers and connect with some of the baseball people in the baseball world. I mean, who's not going to want a free promo, right? I wasn't asking for free chalk. I wasn't asking for anything in return. I wasn't even charging them. I was just asking them for if they wanted to connect so I can hook up some of the people in the baseball world that wanted to have access. And you know what they told me? It's funny, interesting. They told me the owner doesn't like to, I got to be careful and choose my words exactly how he said. He said, the owner doesn't like to do advertising, has always been that way, and not into that. And I said, okay, I respect that. No problem. and I gave them an opportunity to speak to try to attract some people, but they chose not to. But so I couldn't do the commercial for them. Not a commercial, but the free plug. But anyways, I am on the street, and it is right there. If anybody wants to come and find a place. I mean, they didn't want to do the promo, but that's cool. Doesn't mean I can't tell my baseball people where they can go. They have dirt, everything that you can get for a baseball field. They have chalk. I mean, if you wanted to redo a baseball field, this is the place to do it. And I'm just going to record a quick footage of it real quick. There's a lot of cars passing by. Here we go. It's a huge yard. Many, many acres. Full of fertilizer. Not a pleasant smell. But, all your needs are there. All right, so now I'm going to deliver a bag of chalk to the Pico Boys Baseball League out here at Streamland Park. These guys helped me to get access to the field. We had a scrimmage game, and they allowed me to use the field. And not only that, but we needed chalk, and they let us borrow some of their chalk. I told them I'd bring them back some chalk. So, I don't know. I guess it's not technically a donation. This is more of let me pay you back. But I'm going to give them an extra bag because, they hooked us up. So this is the bag. Premium 97 Diamond K. Look at that. Beautiful diamonds for a diamond. This is a beautiful baseball design. Solution grade gypsum. Guaranteed analysis. So it says, I was trying to remember the chemical compound. And it says calcium sulfate dehydrate CaSO4.2 H2O. H2O, I recognize that as water. Ca, I recognize that as calcium, and 2H2O. So that's why it says dehydrate, because there's two. And CaSO, sulfate. I don't know what the 4 stands for. I'm sure somebody down there in the comments can explain. So it's a 50-pound bag, and it comes from the wonderful state of Utah, South Red Hills Drive, 1720. I wonder what it costs to buy in big quantities. But that's what the bag looks like. And, I'm going to drop it off right here. All right, so here are the bags that I'm going to drop off to Pico Boys Baseball. They let us chalk up a field the other day. I didn't have any chalk. They let us borrow the chalk. We chalked it up, and I told them I was going to get them a bag. So I'm getting them a bag for the one that they let us borrow. And then the second one is my donation to the Pico Boys Baseball, So you take care of us, we'll take care of you, kind of thing. Saturday, and actually there's no baseball going on right here. We could easily organize some baseball games. There's a city field over there that it's open on a first come first serve basis. There's a team going. I don't know what team that is. If you are there and you see this video, let us know what team that is, or if you know what team that is, let us know. You could hear the gun range over those hills, past that river. There's a gun range. I don't know if you could hear it. Boom. Yep, I hear it. I don't know if I hope you can it captures it well. There's a highway right there. That is, I think that's Rosemead. And just over past the river, I don't know how many miles, maybe a mile or two that way, there's going to be a gun range. Sounds like war. Frank Catano Field. This one's called the Frank Catano Field. Pico Boys League. Oh, it was dedicated in 2022. Hey, what's going on, Frank? I'm not sure if Frank is somebody who's still alive or is somebody who passed away and they dedicated the field to them. I'm not sure, but it was dedicated this year. Pico Boys Baseball League 2022. Let me know the story behind Frank Catano if you know the story behind Frank Catano. You know what? Actually, I'll ask one of the Pico Boys guys. He's coming right now. I'll ask him to tell me the story about Frank. You know, I got to head out pretty soon, but I'm meeting the Pico Boys, one of the Pico Boys board members. I'm going to try to interview him real quick. I'm going to try to ask him to condense it, put it down in a nutshell, like what history he knows about the Pico Boys baseball. I know they've been around for about 55 years, probably longer now, because I don't know when that mural was painted. There's a mural over there that says Pico Boys baseball 55th anniversary. So beyond that, I don't know what like when this mural was painted. If it was painted 10 years ago, well then we'd be at 65 years, right? Got to just do the math. But I'm supposed to meet with one of the board members, so I could give him the bags and we could walk it over to let's go get a clip of the Pico Boys mural. It's on this little shed, which actually happens to be the bathroom. Let me see. So let's turn it around. See him right there in the back. Pico Boys 55th anniversary. This, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be something that was done a while back. This is not new, but this is the mural. See if I could get it all in there. Pico Boys Baseball League. And looks like we need to get some facing right there. What is that called? The eaves? Pico Boys Baseball League. All right, so I'm the baseball field Santa Claus with 50 pounds, a 50-pound sack of gypsum on my shoulder, walking it over to the shed. That way we can get this done faster. And let's see, going over from the parking with the bag all the way over here to the field house. I call it the field house, but I think it's just a shed. I call it the field house. That's what we used to call it in high school. We'd have a little field house, all the supplies. But see, ours, the locker rooms were right next to it. Right. Let's see. That's where we used to keep our nets, poles, batting cage. I mean, the batting machine, pitching machine. This thing doesn't even have a lock.